Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Come on, answer. Can you hear me? Hi, good evening. Okay ba ang audio? Can you hear me? Can you hear me good? Hello, hello. Yes, clear. Okay, all right. Uh, I thought JP is going to join us, but he is not here. He is not online. All right then. Okay, magandang gabi po. Ito po si AGP ng Luminous by AGP, JP, and AP. All right, all right, all right. There are 269 currently watching. Halay, magandang gabi, mayong gabi na imbag na rabi sa mga Ilocano. All right then. Okay, this is good. Let's just turn that thing on. All right. Okay, so what do you want to talk about? No, scratch that. Let's talk about what I want to talk about. Hmm. Okay, what's that? All right, let's just show that. All right. Okay, let's talk about 93rd birthday of the Queen Mother. Birthday ni Madam Imelda Romualdez Marcos today. And we greeted her last night, I think, during our live. And then again, this morning, doon sa ating page. And then we saw this banner, or ano pang tawag dyan? Billboard? What do you call that? Nakita nyo ba yon? Nakita nyo yung ano? Yung billboard na nakalagay happy 93th. Did you see it? Naimbag na rabi. Yes, okay. Magtaas kayo ng kamay. Did you see it? Okay. I can't hear anything. Let's see. I can't hear you. Anyway, I can't. I'm not supposed to hear myself. Anyway, all right, good. Okay. Yes. Okay. That's what I wanted to talk about because yung owner ng image ng photo na ginamit doon ay ano yung photographer siguro, photojournalist, I think. Oo. Tapos nung nakita niya, galit na galit siya. Sabi niya, siguro ang nag-sponsor nito, nagbayad nito, does not care about the intellectual property of the person who took the shot and doesn't care about the infringement. Okay. Infringement ang tawag sa criminal at saka civil liability ng isang tao na ang violation against the ownership, okay, or the rights of ownership of the person who produced the work of the intellectual property. And in this example, yung picture. Ang infringement is, kinuha ko yung picture, tapos ginamit mo, nakita mo lang sa aking Facebook wall, tapos dinownload mo, tapos ginamit mo. And then, hindi ka nagpaalam or hindi ka naglagay doon ng tinatawag na attribution, to attribute it to the owner. Yung CTTO, yun yung attribution. Di infringement ka, pwede kang kasuhan yan ng either civil at saka criminal case. Kulong yan, makukulong ka dyan. Infringement. Yeah. Infringement. Copyright infringement. Pero hindi niya nakita na 93rd yung nakasulat doon. I mean, kung ako siguro may-ari na and then I see, galit na galit ako, you infringed my rights. Ganyan. Tapos nakita ko sige, wag na nga lang. Baka murahin ka rin naman na yan eh. Ni former First Lady Imelda Marcos or something like that. Well, anyway, yun yung nakikita niyo yung mga reactions ng mga tao na samot-sari. Andyan yung mga tao na sa sobrang galit kay Imelda, sumayad naman sila din doon sa nagwawala na photographer or photographer. Uh, what is wrong with this? All right. Hindi nila napansin yung doon, yung parang comic relief na 93rd. Diba? Yeah. Ano yung speech niya? Pinag-usapan na namin yung speech. Yun yung tatanong about speech of BBM. Which one? The inaugural speech? Sinabi ni JP na we will discuss that but together. Kasi, kung ako lang mag-isa, badoy naman yon. Kasi nadya ba? Talaga, Ivy? Anong balita? Ba't sinabi mong sinadya? The word former should be added. The word former should be added. Okay, bakit? First Lady ba nakasulat doon? First Lady? Shero? Ano nakasulat doon? Sinabi niya ba na First Lady, walang former First Lady? Hi, Marilyn Padillo Dragas de Lara from Milan. Ano ang Milan? Italia. Italiana. Ita at saka Ilocana. Italiana. Okay. Copyright. Hindi po ba si Ma'am Imelda ang may copyright to dapat doon? Hindi. Hindi ho. Ang may-ari ng copyright o yung author o di kaya yung photographer na siyang kumuha. Okay? Kasi composition niya yan eh. It's his intellectual property. Okay? Ang may-ari ng katawan ay si Imelda. Okay? Dahil public person naman si Madam Marcos, hindi niya pwedeng kumbaga pagalitan yung photographer for infringing her her ownership of her own body, di ba? In other words, the body of a person is not his intellectual property. Okay, ang intellectual property ay product ng pag-apply mo ng yung talents or skills, di ba? In this case, sa ibang bagay naman like scientific invention ganyan, di yung yung alam mo, yung scientific expertise mo in something, di ba, sa pag-i-invent. Pero yung katawan mo is not your intellectual property. Okay? Malinaw. Good evening, Sophia Quizon. Right, from London. Andun po ba kayo sa National Museum? No, I wasn't there. Bakit mo tinatanong kung nandun ako sa National Museum? Bakit mo tinatanong, brother? Okay. Wala na siyang sagot. Maayong buntag. What did you say? Maayong buntag. Where's that? It's gone. Maayong buntag, Attorney Ahmed. Kape-kape, I don't drink coffee. But maayong buntag anyway. Yeah. 11:00 na pa lang ng gabi. I don't drink coffee. Hindi ako nagkakape kasi nung una kong uminom, nung bata ako, hindi talaga ako nagkakape. But when I tried drinking coffee in college, I fell asleep after 5 minutes. So, that's a bad thing. Lalo na kung mahirap ka lang, you need to study because you have to work during the day. You cannot sleep. So mine would be a different kind of drug. Hello, good evening to you. I cannot read your name. What is that? Hi, good evening. Si Ami Perez. Hello. Si Corazon Hernandez Vidal. Good evening po sa inyo. Bakit mo tinanong kung nandoon ako sa National Museum? Bakit? Former First Lady is the muse. She doesn't own the rights to the picture. Does she not have a say in the use of her image? Uh, she is a public person. Okay, let's address this one. Where is that? There. Brother Michelangelo Ayuson. Michelangelo Ayuson. Ano yun? Magandang gabi. Na taga Bicol to. Ay kapatid to ng aking dating girlfriend. Si Mike. Awesome to siya. Awesome to na tao. But let's address this question. She doesn't own the rights to the picture, but does she not have any say in the use of her image? Normally, if because everyone has the right to privacy, hindi ka pwedeng picture na lang ng gano'n na wala kang consent. But if you were a public figure, like you are an official of the government, and you tend to lose your privacy, the expectation of privacy kung public personality ka, di ba? Pero kung titingnan natin yung mga paparazzi sa US, even in private homes of these people, ay kinukuhaan pa rin sila ng picture ng mga paparazzi. So, it seems to say that even then, wala kang right to your privacy kung nasa labas ka ng bahay mo. Alright? If you're walking down the street, you are clearly in a public domain, okay, in a public area. So, anybody can take pictures of you. Alright? Pwede kang magalit siguro, but you can't do anything about it. Di ba? Yung maglalakad ka, tapos bigla na lang pipicturean, pwede mo sigurong reklamo sa police, pa-blotter mo kasi it could be used for nefarious purposes like papakidnap ka or ganyan-ganyan. But, you just blotter. Ang sasabihin ng mga pulis sa'yo, yung pagkuha lang ng picture po sa inyo ay hindi ho mali, ay hindi ho yun labag sa batas. But, once they, say for example, distributed your picture, there's probably a thing there about the data privacy, di ba? Kasi kung ilalabas yan sa internet, then now you have a cause of action. Kasi meron kang privacy rights to your personal data, and I suppose your photograph is part of your personal data. And kaya nga nagkakaroon ng mga issue about parents posting photos of their children and the grades of their children and the test papers of their children on their Facebook account sa mga parents. Kasi oo nga naman, it's divulging data of these children. At some ridiculous people would actually complain to the police or just complain on the internet. Post sila na, ano ba yan? Pinopost mo yung bawal yan. Parang tipong, hello, nanay niya yan. Di ba? Nanay niya, anong pakialam mo kung gusto niyang i-post? You just inform that parent. If that parent doesn't know na meron palang ganong batas, na meron pala tayong ganong policy na we protect the data privacy of people, especially those people who cannot defend themselves, you just inform that parent. Huwag mong atakihin naman na criminal ka, you violated the law na ganyan-ganyan, di ba? That's ridiculous. That's the parent of the child. It's probably ignorance, but definitely not a crime. Di ba? Okay. Nancy Amores Nicole, watching from Scotland. Hello. Good evening to you. Si Michelle. Michelle, yeah. Siya, tagay na lang. Sige. Ano bang iniinom mo dyan, Amanda? What are you drinking? What are you drinking there? Ayingi. Si Hello Jessamine from Tacloban. Ang dami niya na naman. Hello, Chrysanthemum Abarques. Hello. Si Jimmy Tan Mandak. Yeah. si Elizabeth, yeah, hello, hello. Si Janet, si Mary. Ito, nangaharas to eh. Papakulong ko tong isang to eh, no? Ah, ano ba yan? Eh, space ba yan? Ano ba yan? Yeah. Si Jake. Mukha tayong gangbanger sa hat. Oo nga. Gangbanger. Ano ba yung gangbanger? Yung porn? Yung, hindi ko pa nasubukan yun. Eh. Masama yata yun eh. Parang magkaka-AIDS yata tayo dun sa ganun eh. Di ba? Ang dami nyo, di ba? That's si Shero na naman ulit. Yeah, presumably she gave her consent, or if you're a public personality, your consent is not needed anymore because it was your will to give up your expectation of privacy when you entered into public life, like actress ka, like a person famous personality, yung mga celebrities, mga ganyan. So, para kasing ang principle kasi dyan is, hello, Ronnie, si komentarista, ay Tony, present po. Si Jam de la Cruz, si Evelyn Rosal. Ang principle dyan kasi is this, we are entitled to our privacy and space, di ba? So that if you're inside the walls of your home, you can expect that people should know that you want privacy. You don't want to be stalked and stuff like that, like tinitingnan ka sa bintana and all that. Pero kung nasa labas ka, medyo lumiliit yung area na magiging right mo to your privacy, and sight is no longer included in that. So, pwede ka na makita ng lahat ng tao because you are there in a public area. But you still have your space, di ba? Your personal space around you. Personal space is not a legal concept. It's a social concept na that there is supposed to be some space around a person, um, uh, outside of no inside of which, or just crossing the within which other people should avoid going, di ba? Kasi that's already tantamount to a complete violation of privacy or personal space. Pero wala pa kasi yan sa sa batas. I don't know if that is what they're talking about when there is this law called the Safe Spaces Act. I think that's the same, but it's not as dynamic kasi yung social concept ng personal space uh, would have different dimensions in depending on where you are. Like for example, in a crowded bus, okay, your personal space is probably about 3 or 5 inches, ganyan, di ba? Na pagka dumikit na yung isang tao, now you already have the right to be offended because parang hinihipuan ka na niyan o dinadaganan ka na niyan. Pero for example, in a train where everybody is accorded a seat kasi meron ngayong tickets, so nakaupo kayo dapat lahat. It's not a commuter train, but yung pangbiyahe talaga na train like sa Europe, personal space would expand, and it would remain that way for so long as you're there, diba? In that train. But when you get off, and again the terminal is packed up with people, so liliit na naman yung personal space mo. So now hindi ka na pwedeng magreklamo uli kung ang dikit ng ibang tao sa'yo is about 6-5 inches, ganyan. Pero doon sa loob ng train, you can probably expect about 2 feet of personal space. So kung merong naglilin sa yung tao dyan na you don't know, you can complain if it's within 2 feet, ganyan. And it would expand even farther if you are in a wider and wider space. So halimbawa sa isang arena, ganyan. Di kaya sa classroom, dalawa lang kayo, di ba? Stuff like that. So all of these things are abstract concepts that we observe as part of our mores or customs in society as we move within or in and out of the society or within the society to keep us sane, right? To keep us just being getting crazy, keep us from getting so completely crazy. Kasi uh, uh, yeah, because individual persons are still respected. The individual person is still respected, even though we are in a society. And if, for example, we one person finds himself in a concert, rock concert, na yung mga tao nag-headbang, nag-slam dance, ganyan, syempre, umiiba na naman yung yung rule doon on personal space. You cannot expect that nobody will hit you if you stand in the middle of the slam pit or whatever they call that. 'Di ba? Yung sundukan sila doon sa gitna, which was what I did most of college. Shout out daw sa lahat, sabi ni Ken Kulitz. Oy, nandito pala si Arlene. Hello, Arlene. Ito si Arlene, tatanda tong virgin yata. Babaeng dahil hindi ako binigyan ng t-shirt. So, sinumpa ko siya. Tanda yan siyang virgin. Good luck sa'yo, Arlene. Marilu, good evening. Bint Laila. Ano ba ito si Bint? Lalaki ba ito? Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nagaling siya sa Dubai. Okay, si Roel Cano. Apelido niya yung classmate ko nung grade school. What is up? What is up? Okay. Ano ba? Last night, alam niyo na pala to. Last night when we were about to end our live stream, meron tayong pinost, meron tayong flinash na parang statement from the Office of the Press Secretary na sinasabi na hindi totoo nga yung mga posts tungkol sa may bagong PAGCOR chairman. Okay. Wala si wala si JP. Hindi siya sumipot. Pero pinadalan ko naman siya ng link. Ewan ko kung bakit hindi siya sumipot. Anyway, sinabi natin kagabi na when we see a post like that, okay, what do we do? What do we do? We said that we correct it. Okay, we correct it. But are we justified in kasi may pangalan yun yung flinash natin kagabi, may pangalan yun yung sino yung nag-post. Are we justified in going to his wall and calling him fake news peddler or di ba? Fake newser or whatever? What do you think? Do you think that's justified? Especially now that all of us who support the government of Duterte and supported the government of Duterte and now are supporting the government of Mr. Marcos, we were called fake news, purveyors of fake news and all that. It's Attorney Trixie, ganun din, tinawag nilang ganun. But is it right for a person to do that? Na kung meron kang halimbawa, nagkamali ka lang ng post, di ba? People make mistakes. Not everyone knows everything or can have access to information immediately about something, but nagkakamali tayo, pati nga yung mga media, yung press, newspapers, when they commit mistakes, they're errata, di ba? They're allowed to print as part of the issue within the day or even days after ng erratum, di ba? Na sasabi sila na sorry, nagkamali kami dito and all that stuff. Pero ang mga DDS vloggers at saka netizens ay hindi pwedeng magkamali. Tatawagin kagad silang fake news, di ba? And to me, that's wrong. Kasi unang-una, I said there is no such thing as fake news. There is no such thing as fake news. Okay, um, if there is a fake news in the sense that it is something is completely false and it is being passed off as news, then that's false publication. That's a malicious publication, and that's not fake news because parang news is not a protected thing in this country. All right, but in the example of, for example, doon sa publication that would tend to endanger public safety, di ba, or public order, there is something that is being protected there by law, and it is the public order. So pinangangalagaan yung order. Ron Jeremy, yeah. Pinangangalagaan ng batas natin yung kaayusan sa ating community. And so there is that kind of protection towards an objective or a purpose, di ba? But news is not a protected kind of communication. News is just a report of something, and for a group of people, especially these pink journalists that they call themselves, they act like news, which is supposedly their product, and by their meaning these experts in a very special kind of skill or talent or educational attainment na sila lang marunong yan at sila lang therefore ang may karapatan na mag-claim na sila lang ang nagpo-produce ng tamang news at totoong news. If you look at the law, there is no such protection for news. It's not a protected kind of communication. Maraming protected kind of communication like the communication between the lawyer and his client. That is a protected kind of communication. It's called privileged communication. Meron ding yung speeches ng mga congressmen at saka senators during their session in Congress and in the Senate. That is also protected speech. Hindi sila pwedeng demanda for what they say there. And even if what they say there is false, hindi sila pwedeng reklamo natin fake news kayo or meron kang malicious na speech. Hindi sila pwedeng kasuhan ng ganyan doon. Dito sa atin, in public, protected speech, wala eh. Everything we say is not protected. Most yung mga sekreto, halimbawa, an example of protected communication is yung letters na within sealed envelopes. That is protected communication. Pero kung news, it's not. So, hindi ko maintindihan kung anong kayabang nitong mga taong ito na when they say news, sinasabi nila na news should only be something that is produced by a journalist. And if you ask them what exactly is a journalist, they will say na dapat yung nag-aral ng anong inaral. Hindi rin naman nila sinasabi siguro masscom, ganyan, or journalism. Kasi strictly speaking, a journalist should only be a graduate of journalism and not anything else. But sa dami ng kilala ko dito sa buhay na to na mga nagsusulat ng news and they work for a newspaper or a broadcasting station, hindi naman niya nag-aral ng journalism. And many people who are graduates of journalism are not journalists. I mean they don't work in newspapers and broadcast stations, and they don't write any news at all. They do write, some of them, sulat ng libro, ganyan, but writing a book is not a sole activity for the journalist. Anyone can write a book. In fact, all great people advise that we all of us should write a book before we die, because it's supposed to be something that is a symbol of your self-realization or something like that. Na parang tipong it's the pinnacle of your life when you are able to do this thing, 'di ba? So journalism, journalism, the activity is not limited or exclusive only to those who graduated from the journalism course. And news is not necessary and definitely not exclusively produced by journalists. Kasi ang dami-dami ko ang kilala dyan na hindi nag-aral ng journalism, gumagawa naman ng news, nagbabalita naman sila. Okay? Eh meron din, ang inaral ay mass communication. In other words, yung broadcast. Broadcasting has nothing to do with journalism. Broadcasting is knowing the technicalities of broadcast, of using the technology of transmitting signals, di ba? Carrying information. But that's not journalism. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with content, but just the manner of sending off and receiving uh, coded messages that would would be sometimes news, sometimes a movie, sometimes a porn film or something. So, di ba, there is no exclusivity there. So, wala talagang kadahidahilan ito na mga taong to na magsasabing lahat ng nag-post na hindi totoo, yung nag-post ka, nag-react ka lang sa isang news article, you react on your wall, and some people don't like your reaction, some people don't like your opinion, and they call you a fake news purveyor. Parang yung ginawa nila kay Mocha. By the way, wala naman talaga silang pinanalo doon sa mga kinaso nila kay Mocha. I won all of them for Mocha, even in the ombudsman. So, yeah, that's that. Losers. Yeah. All right. Okay. So there's no basis for saying that news is only an exclusive product of people who are working as journalists. Okay, and that's completely insane. That's completely stupid. And whoever tells you that you cannot make or work as a journalist, or you cannot work as a journalist nga tawag dyan, for your own page in Facebook, na hindi ka pwedeng mag-produce ng news dyan dahil hindi ka journalist, sabihin nyo sa akin para butatain natin yan sila. Diba? Bakit? Kasi what is the overarching rule here? It's the Constitution, and the Constitution applies to everyone. It does not say na para lang to sa journalist, ito nga Bill of Rights, section ganito ganyan. This is just for the press and all that. Wala. It's all persons. It's for everyone. It's for every citizen. Okay? Kasi noon, konti lang yung kakapag-publish ng kanilang opinion. For example, in their observations of their environment. Kasi that is generally what journalists does, 'di ba? Na mag-observe sila doon kung merong mga insidente na nangyayari, mga events kanya, and then they write it down and then they report it and then they turn it into an article which is then reported as news. How special is that? I mean, how special a person should be to be able to do that. It's so easy. It's an activity for kids. I mean, we've been trained to do that since we were like children. Di ba na, okay, anong nakita mo doon na? Okay, just tell daddy about it. Di ba? I mean, so they are taking a credit for what everybody knows how to do. That's cheap. That's like cheating. Di ba? And then they will say, Kami lang ang tinuruan na paano magsulat ng news na hindi biased really. Don't start talking about that to me because I will squeeze your balls. You are not going anywhere if you start talking to me about that shit stuff. Right? Everybody has the right to free speech, for freedom of expression, and to publish your thoughts and your ideas. And now that we can publish ourselves, we no longer need a press to print our stuff and turn them into books and sell them out to the public. Now we can just write it on our wall and the public sees it. Self-publication. Now it applies even to us. Diba? The freedom of the press. Self-publication. So now everything would be is already equal among everyone in this world. At least yung mga taong wala pang internet, meron ba pang mga tao ngayon na hindi pa alam yung internet? Parang wala na eh. Di ba? Parang wala na. Okay. But people who argue that news is only the exclusive activity of making news or reporting news or whatever, is only the exclusive activity of journalists. It's so full of shit. Stop saying that. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Right? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Go! All right. I have my cousin, si Paul. Yeah. Taga Zamboanga del Norte. Shout out sa mga taga Zamboanga del Norte. Dapitan and Dipolog and all that. What is up? What is up? Okay, naintindihan nyo na. Now, where everyone has access to the internet and to the platform, social media platform that allows a person to publish his thoughts, his expression, okay, or his speech, she is already a journalist. Okay, if I go out and observe a rally and I record what I observe and I put it on my wall, what is that? It's a news article. If it's all just facts, if it's not only facts but also opinion, like you input there, you make a part of it, some of your like inferences on what will happen or what would have happened or what could have happened or what didn't happen and why, then there is opinion and everybody still is entitled to his own opinion. Hindi lang journalist ang pwedeng gumawa niyan. Di ba? In fact, people who have columns in newspapers, some of them, or maybe a good 50-50, are not graduates of journalism. They are not even graduates of Mascom, College of Mascom, or wherever they may come. So some of them are teachers, some of them are engineers, and some of them are bishops or priests. So anyone can write opinion in a newspaper, in the opinion pages, di ba? So where is the exclusivity to journalists there? Di ba? Wala. So that argument now that if you are not a journalist, you have no right to say anything on your Facebook. What the hell? Diba? And then if you're a journalist, even if what you're saying there is completely dumb and stupid and so completely false, hindi ka pwedeng tawaging purveyor of fake news. You're so full of shit. Diba? That's so completely insane. Oh, all right. I have another cousin. Si Aya Bongacious Cuyano. Ayan yung pangalan niya, di ba? She's in Japan. Hello, Gao. Shout out to you and your siblings. Yep, everyone is a journalist. Or why do we limit ourselves in under the title of journalist? Why can't we just say I'm Ahmed and I can do all of these things, di ba? And if I report in news and it's supposed to be factual and I write something that is completely false, then call out my attention to it, correct it. Why do you have to call me a purveyor of fake news? And some people have done that to me, and these people are really gusto ko ng hamonin na, sige, let's take the bar. Kitang tayong dalawa. Bar tayong dalawa, tingnan natin kung pumasa ka. Yeah, right. That's it. Okay? Kaya yabang-yabang na since they're all poor, then all they finished school is high school. And since they're ganito ganyan, mahirap sila, hindi nila alam paano mag-research. Dumb fool. Okay, does longevity play a role? Meaning, what if one time ka lang mag-self-publish? Baka yun is issue nila. Anong one time ka lang mag-self-publish? Every time you post a status message, that is publishing yourself. Every time your wall is publicly seen, that is publication. How can you ever say that it's just a one-time stuff? Every time you project yourself to the world, that is publication. And if you do that every day, because all day and all night, because your Facebook account is public, then you are self-publishing all day and all night. Diba? So, what longevity are we talking about? Baka yun yung issue nila, yung paying your dues. What dues? Tax? I pay my income tax. And I probably pay bigger tax than they do. So what the hell? I'm not selling my post as news. Nobody buys it as news. Di ba? Parang I'm not collecting money from people who read stuff from my wall. It's free. So what? I'm not making income out of that stuff. Di ba? And right now, am I engaged in news? Really? And if I happen to make money out of this live stream, is that what? Illegal practice of making news? And illegal act of making money out of a illegal practice of making news? That's completely insane. Only stupid people would say that. Di ba? Yeah. Alright. Ang sinasabi niya dito. Simula ko ba ang plano ni Rapi Tulpo na sa live? That is an entirely different issue. Decriminalizing libel has nothing to do with news and all that stuff. Okay, libel is an act that is made punishable by law for some reason. And ang reason niyan is pagka ginamit mo yung public key right to publish to hurt someone or to besmirch his reputation, di ba? Parang siniraan mo yung kanyang reputasyon, ipahiya siya, or cause him damage, like nawalan siya ng kontrata, trabaho dahil nagsabi ka ng kasinungalingan o mga bagay na hindi totoo o malisyoso, kaya merong libel, and that is outside of the protected rights to speak, to publish, and to express. Kasi kung nag-paint ka, kahit na anong paint mo dyan, tapos yung painting mo is libelous, meaning nag-paint ka ng isang tao and you showed na itong tao na ito is a whore or is a prostitute, and the truth is this person is not really a prostitute and in fact a nun. Diba? I mean, you used your medium of expression, painting, to destroy the reputation of this person and showing it to the public. I, decriminalizing that, I don't know. That's the wisdom of Congress. Kung anong gusto nila na wala ng parusa yan na na criminal, ibig sabihin hindi ka na makukulong or hindi ka na magpa-fine. No? In other words, you are no longer made liable to the state or to the people of the Philippines. It's up to them. Para sa akin, doesn't matter. Kasi hindi yan siya magiging, it will not be condoned. In other words, kahit na ma-decriminalize yan, hindi pa rin yan siya magiging correct or proper or right action in the sense of in the sense of the civil code na kahit na hindi na yan siya criminal offense, it's still a civil offense. Kasi if it still causes damage to another person, di ba? Masira ng reputasyon o mawala ng hanap buhay and all that dahil sa ginawa mo, bayad ka pa rin. Di ba? Libel and slander are they are the exceptions, okay, to freedoms of speech, expression, and publication, press. But it's not fully an exception kasi you are still allowed to speak, you're still allowed to publish, you're still allowed to express. Diba? It libel laws does not stop anyone from speaking. It only warns that if you speak, exercise your freedom of speech, and you speak malicious and untrue things that would result in the besmirching of the reputation of another person, and you tell it to the world, as in the case of slander, or publish it to the world, like broadcasting in a news, on a broadcast TV or broadcast radio or internet, then you will be punished. See? So, hindi ka pinigilang magsalita. So, it is still not a limit on the freedom of speech, expression of the press. Diba? Hindi pa rin siya limitation doon. Ang ano lang ay mag-ingat ka sa content ng ipapublish mo. Kasi kung meron niyang epekto na makakasira sa ibang tao, and then you did it maliciously, and it is completely false, for example, then you will be punished. And if you decriminalize that, then you're going to be made to pay damages. Diba? Okay. So now we understand that we cannot stress this enough, that everyone has the right to speak, to express, and to publish. Now that we can publish ourselves, we don't need a printing press, we don't need a book publisher to come out with our expressions of our opinions to the public. And now we have our websites, we have live streams like this. I don't need to be a block timer in a TV station, in a TV broadcast company. I don't need to be a block timer in a radio broadcast company to have my own program and to send out, publish my opinions on different matters. Now I can do it myself from here, my home, saying all of these things, my opinions, and sometimes news if I cared to do that. But no one is going to tell me that I cannot do news. No one is going to tell me that I cannot self-publish because I'm not a journalist. That guy is his mind is blank. Yun na lang ang gawin natin, tawag natin sa kanila. Di ba? Do you still hear me? Okay pa ba yung mic natin? Merong isa dito nagpapacheck ng mic eh. Do you want to check my mic? Like that? There. Okay. Yan ang ginagawa ni Rafi Tulfo, ginagawang circus ng buhay. Alright, yung ginagawa ni Rafi, it's his own way of expressing his opinion. Alright? When he expresses his opinion on the law, be careful. Di ba? Caveat, emptor. Ibig sabihin na mag-ingat kayo na kung maniwala kayo sa kanya dahil hindi siya lawyer. Okay? But, again, I will not tell you that he should stop saying anything about the law because I do not have the right to do that. And he has complete rights to do that. He can talk about the law as much as he likes. The only limitation is that he cannot practice law. But talking about the law does not need a lawyer. Anybody can talk about the law. If you read the law and you understand it, and you read the case and you understand it, you try to explain to other people, you're not prevented from doing that by any kind of law. And no person has the right to tell you don't talk about the law because you're not a lawyer. You cannot do that. So anyone, really, and that's why Senator Fully, they can do that. They have the right to do that. You can stop them. See, but they are not the only ones who can do that. Everyone can do that. Okay? Everyone can do that. Right? Hindi lang sina Rafi, hindi lang sina Tulfo and Katuning and all that. Everyone can do that. If you care, if you know, if you study the law, without being a lawyer, you can talk about the law. There's no problem with that. And similarly, pagdating sa mga ibang bagay like politics, you don't need to be a political scientist. I mean, you don't need to have studied a 4-year course of political science to be able to be allowed to talk about politics. No. You don't have to learn anything to talk about politics in this country. You can be a completely out of school youth. And you can, if you know what the hell you're talking about, then you can go ahead and talk about it. That's your opinion. And that's your freedom. All right? So, wala. Wag niyong isipin na dahil ang batas ay karamihan ng may alam naman sa batas ay mga abogado, doesn't mean that nobody else can talk about the law other than lawyers. That's wrong. Okay, anyone can talk about the law. You can discuss the law if you know what the hell it is. Di ba? And there are many things about the law that you can discuss that does not need you to be a lawyer to be credible. Hello, Steph. What is up? Kumusta Baguio? Malamig ba? Alright. Revenues. Yeah, probably. Okay, let's understand this situation. Ang news that we get from broadcast stations, broadcast networks, TV and radio, sila ay mga empleyado ng private companies. Well, except for those, good night, except for those who are working for the government, for broadcast stations of the government. But, yung mga private companies that own broadcast station for TV and radio, business yan sila. Yeah. Okay. Keep yourself dry, all right, Steph? Okay. They are employees of private companies. And the news that they gather and deliver and therefore later on report is part of their job. And their job pays. They are paid for doing their job. So they are paid for their news. Okay? They are the ones who are paid for their news. If they produce news. Those people who produce like ads, for example, kasi yan yung negosyo ng mga private broadcast companies, networks. Ads. Okay? Dahil yung news part na yan is public service. Libre yan dapat. Okay? Libre, you do not buy your news. News is free. Okay? It's free. Okay, hindi natin binibili yan. Yung binibili natin sa dyaryo, for example, is not the news. Okay, it's everything else that's there, and probably the paper. But the news is free. Okay, nobody owns the news. Nobody owns the news. The news is not intellectual property. It is not intellectual property. Okay? So, we don't buy news because it's free. And those people who work for private companies that also are engaged in delivery of the news, reports, and articles and all that. They are paid for that. Me, however, as I talk to you right now, I'm not being paid for anything. Uh, some people send stars and stuff, but I don't know exactly what it's going to do. Is that money? I don't know what it is. I don't understand that. Maybe Attorney Trixie knows what's that all about, but I don't. It's probably money. Pero yung mga, ano bang tawag dyan? Super sticker, something, I think that's money, but I haven't seen it arrive in my pockets or wallet yet, or in my bank account. It's probably going to the account of Trixie also, which is all good. But we didn't sell this thing. I mean, even if you did not give me money, you would still uh, you would still be able to access what I'm saying now. It will be available on YouTube and Facebook and anywhere else. Di ba? You can ask a copy from me. I will send it to you. Mga ganyan. So it's free. I'm not being paid for this thing. In fact, I'm spending more than receiving because the air condition is on, two fans are on, and the lights are on, and stuff. I had to take a bath, sayang sabon and shampoo and tubig and stuff like that. So, but I'm not being paid for this. And no, definitely not the government. Government is they're bad payers. The government is a bad payer. I don't enter into contracts with government if you have a shallow pocket. Kung ang source mo ay sobrang lalim, yung sobrang lalim na balon, puro pera, ayan, go ahead and do contracts with the government. That if you have just enough, may business ka sa gobyerno, good luck sa'yo. Diba? Good luck sa'yo. So itong mga live stream daw namin ay meron daw nag-a-add dyan, but we are not selling it. For maybe Facebook does that for us. I mean, and YouTube. They're doing it for us, and it's just accidental. We are not doing this for those ads. We don't care about those ads. Di ba? We don't care about those ads. I'm saying this now, even if there's no ads going to be attached to this, when it's finally shown on YouTube or wherever. I don't care. See? Kung just because there's money there, incidentally, there's money after you did your stream. Yeah, whatever, and you're still assessing me tax on those things, even if I really didn't want it. Diba? So it just equalizes later on. O sige, kung may pera naman na pumapasok dito, and that's really not my expectation. I just really want to tell you what I know because I know a lot, and it goes nowhere. Anyway, it's just a complete waste if I didn't tell this to anyone else. So yeah, eh, it is not important that you're paid or not paid for expressing your opinion. It is not important if you're paid or not paid in speaking out what you want to say or publishing what the hell you want to show to the world. Doesn't matter kung may pera yan o wala. That's your right. No one can stop you from doing that. Okay? So, yeah. We should talk about other things, but we've already done 1 hour. So, let's talk about other things tomorrow evening, at night. Okay? But thank you for coming here and listening to this stuff that I'm saying. Sana nandito rin si JP or um, maybe I can invite one of you. No? I can invite one of you and I'll just give you a link and you can come out and screen and let's talk. Let's talk about something. Let's do that. No? So, hi, Lilia. Lilia is the name of my mom, my mother. Call her Nanay. She's dead now. She's dead for like 5 years now, I think. Yeah, that's her name, Lilia. Hi, uh, Ginacel, si Mark, Jason. Hi, good evening. We are about to end this stream. Ngayon na tayo dumating. Manood na lang kayo ng replay. Yep. Please, please. Before we go, I would like you to like and share this thing on Facebook and do the same on YouTube. And if you could share these things on your wall, that would help. Uh, because being awesome is lonely if you're alone. Everybody should be awesome, like, we're together and doing it, it's happier, diba? Yep. Yeah. What's that? It's so interesting knowing that bloggers and podcasters can make the world mainstream upside down. Well, they can also do that for our world, but we are not complaining. And they are, diba? They are complaining. And we're not. I'm not. I'm game. I'm game. All right. So good night. Please like, share, and subscribe if you will. And thank you for those who sent something. I don't recall if there's one, but never mind. Don't never mind that. Don't send anything. Just watch and listen and learn and ask other people to come here and watch and listen and learn also and be awesome so that we'll be a bigger group of awesome people and we'll be happier because there are many of us and then we drink alcohol, diba? It's happy. All right, that's it. It's midnight. Good night, everyone. And tomorrow is July 3. I don't know what occasion there is tomorrow, but I don't care. I hope you all wake up like every day so we can do this again tomorrow night. Yeah, that's it. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for listening and watching and greeting. And shout out daw, sabi ni Mary. Angel Colenio. A good night. Okay. Bon nuit. Comentarista, Faye, Manamanawi. Right? Del, take care. Take care then. Yeah. Okay, let's do this thing. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. Uh, this one. Let's do this.